All right, good morning, guys. Doing all right. How you doing? Okay. First, we got to stop. We can't keep going, man. All right. We're gonna have a little fun here at the beginning, okay? Y'all help me. All right. McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. There we go. All right. Arby's. We have the meat, right? All right. Okay. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Um, Allstate. You're in good hands, right? What's the farmer's one? There it is, right? Y'all know that one? Okay. Uh, I don't know the like motto thing or whatever that is, the little catchphrase for Planet Fitness, but like Planet Fitness, it's like gym membership. Do you know it? Oh, I thought you were gonna. I was like, man, Evan's on it today. All right, so everybody's got commercials, right? Don't y'all love commercials? Anybody? I can't stand commercials. But anyway, y'all know commercials? Okay. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for God's commercial? Y'all ready for here's God's quick little commercial. Y'all ready? You're probably not fit to follow my son. Have a good day. Wait, what? Hang on just a second. One more time. Um, like a gym membership, Like, hey, it's 99 cents for your first month. You've got all these perks and benefits. You're gonna love coming to Planet Fitness. All right, so here's God's gym membership. You ready? God's gym membership commercial. You probably are not gonna make it. Kind of a joke. Y'all are taking it super serious, which is good, but it's kind of a joke. Probably won't be here in February. Do you want to join God's gym? Come on. Probably not going to last very long. All right, this is like the commercial that the world does not tell you about. Okay, so is it true? Does God want all people to be saved? Absolutely. Is it true that Jesus is like, come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden? And what's he going to do? Give you rest. Like, what Jesus has to offer, is it doable? Yes, I get it's totally doable to follow Jesus Christ. All right. Now, let's set that to the side for a second and think about this. Luke chapter 9, Jesus is going to give you the commercial that the world doesn't really tell you about. Okay? So here's the commercial. You're probably not fit to follow my son. All right, so let's explain that a little bit more, and then we're going to turn it into like a positive, happy thing. Okay? All right, so I've got six examples of Jesus trying to give you the honest review of what it's like to be in his kingdom. 6 examples of like, we're going to pull the curtain back and let's see what's backstage. All right, so here's number 1. In Luke 9, 57 and 58. As they were going along the road, someone said to Jesus, I will follow you wherever you go. Well, that sounds good, right? That's nice. That's good. But Jesus said to him, the foxes have holes, the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. Okay, are you sure you want to follow me? That's kind of what Jesus is saying. Like sometimes when I'm going to work in the morning, the kids will ask me, they're like, hey, Dad, can I come to work with you? And it's really sweet. I love it. And 9 times out of 10, I would rather have my kids working for me than just about anybody else. They're really, really good workers. But when they ask me, hey, Dad, can I come to work with you? Do you know what I tell them? I'm going to tell them the honest truth about what we're doing for the day. So it's like sometimes it's just a no. But sometimes it's like, yeah, you can come with me, because it's going to be fun to like go get lunch, right? We like to go get some good food for lunch. It's going to be fun listening to Dad sing karaoke in the car on the way to work, right? Like that's fun. But you also need to remember, if you come to work with me today, we're going to be working in the attic. It's going to be hot. Are you sure you want to come with me? Because we're going to be working today. Like we're going to have some fun, but we're going to be working, And sometimes when you start to like say this is what's really going to go on, like it's going to be hot, then maybe they're like, I may just stay home today, right? So this guy was like, Jesus, I'll go with you wherever you go. He's like, are you sure about that? Because foxes have a place to sleep, right? The birds have a place to sleep. But my ministry, I am on the road. And in fact, I'm on the road headed to where? To my death publicly. So you're welcome to follow me, but you need to think about what you're signing yourself up for, okay? All right, here's the second example. Example number 2. It's just the next 2 verses. And he said to another person, he is telling this other person, you should follow me. Jesus is telling him, you should follow me. But he says, Lord, permit me first to go and bury my father. But he said to him, allow the dead, like probably the spiritually dead, to bury their own physical dead. But as for you, go and proclaim everywhere the kingdom of God. Okay, all right. Let's break this down. Number 1, Jesus is not anti-funerals, right? Okay, Monica's with me. All right. Jesus says you should follow me. This person says, Lord, just let me first go and bury my father. Jesus is not anti-funerals, correct? Come on, guys, say yes. I'm going to move on. We got 4 more of these to go through. So we're only on number 2. All right. So it's like Jesus is not against funerals. He's not against you missing your parents after they pass away. That's not the point of this. All right. But he does want to use a very controversial example. It's not like, follow me. It's like, Lord, first, let me run to the grocery store. No, he's using something that we would legitimately want to go do first, right? Okay, so he's trying to make whatever I'm trying to say. He says, allow probably the spiritually dead to bury the physical dead, but as for you, go and proclaim everywhere the kingdom of God. Okay, here's another thing. Death is the end for the world. Like in the world's eyes, when you die, that's it. And it's completely tragic and it's completely hopeless. But what about us, guys? Death for Christians is just the beginning. Right? Right. So, I'm not anti-funerals. That's not the point of this little thing here. But it is. The emphasis that the world has on a funeral is major. But the emphasis that Christians should have on a funeral should be minor. Because we don't cry and mourn the same way that they do. Because we know what? If your daddy dies and he is in the arms of Jesus, what does that mean, guys? Just say it. We're going to see him again, right? He's in heaven, we're going to see him again. So it's tragic, and it's not that we can't shed a tear, and it's not that we can't have a funeral. But we know, like, that's not the actual last time I'm going to see Dad. Right, guys? This is our hope. Okay, so for Christians, number 1, Jesus isn't against funerals, and number 2, death is the end for the world, but it's not for us. So number 3, this is what the point is. The real point is this phrase, these 4 words, Lord, permit me first, to just say, Lord, first. Instead of, Lord, permit me first to go do this, it should just say, Lord, first. Because the Lord is first. Okay? So, example number 2 on like, well, let me go do this thing first. It's like, no, Lord first. Lord first. You want to follow Jesus, Lord first. Okay, here's our third one. Luke 9, the next 2 verses. These are all back to back. Luke 9:61. Another also said, I will follow you, Lord, but first permit me to say goodbye to those at home. Again, this is a completely normal response, right? This is not like, I don't think this is a bad person because like, hey, I want to go tell everybody bye, right? Jesus is not against goodbyes. But when you decide to follow Jesus, there is no going back. That's the point. Not that you can't say goodbye. The point is, if you decide to follow Jesus, you can't be doing this, Lord, but first permit me to whatever. No, no, no. You're going to follow Jesus. You're following him. 2 Timothy 2, verses 3 and 4. Paul tells Timothy, you should suffer hardship with me as a good soldier of Christ Jesus. A soldier. Y'all know what soldiers are, right? No soldier in active service entangles himself in the affairs of everyday life so that he may please the one who enlisted him as a soldier. So Paul tells Timothy, if you're a soldier for Christ, in the real world, in the real military, soldiers don't get caught up in what's going on in everyday life in the world, because what are they doing? They're fighting in the army, right? They're fighting in the Air Force, they're fighting in the Navy. Like, you're not a civilian anymore. Who are you? Say it, church. Soldier. So Paul is telling Timothy, if you're a soldier, no soldier in active service entangles himself in the affairs of everyday life. Why? Because he wants to please the one who enlisted him as a soldier. Well, who enlisted us as soldiers in the Lord's army? Jesus Christ did, right? So if I'm going to be in the Lord's army, then I'm going to be doing the Lord's army's business, not the world's business. So when you decide to, I'm going to follow you, Jesus Christ, but I do want to go back for a few things, Jesus is like, nope, no. This is a clean cut. If you're going to follow me, there is no going back. He's not against goodbyes, but he's trying to make sure that we understand that making a commitment to God is a big deal. It's not just some passive thing. It's just like, sure, yeah, I'm a Christian, cool. It's a big deal. All right, here's number 4. Number 4. This is over in John. John, y'all know this one. John 13:37. Remember what Peter says to Jesus? Lord, why can I not follow you? Right now. I will lay down my life for you. Remember Peter says this to Jesus? And you know what Jesus says? Will you lay down your life for me, Peter? Truly I say to you, a rooster will not crow until you deny me 3 times. Okay, now let's think about this one a little bit. So Peter says that. What happens when the mob comes to get Jesus at night? What does Peter do? He cuts off that guy's ear, right? So think about this. Peter said, I will lay down my life for you. In other words, I will pull out a sword and fight. So did he do that? He did. I truly think if the mob came and they pulled out their swords and they were going to go head to head, I truly believe that Peter was going to die for Jesus Christ the night that he was betrayed. But here's a whole nother sermon right here. Y'all ready? It's a good quote. You might die for me, but you're not willing to live for me. You just sit and think about that for a while. Peter's like, I'd lay down my life for you. It's like, you'd lay down your life for me. Yeah? But you would deny me to a slave girl. Think about that. Like, I would take a bullet for you, God. I would cut this guy's ear off. I would pull out the sword. I would fight. Like, you might do that. But you underestimate the trials and tribulations that are ahead of you, Peter. You're like, I would die for you. That's great. But would you confess me before men? Sometimes confessing God before men is more difficult than taking a bullet. Because you take a bullet and it's one action and you're done. But confessing God before men is something you do every day. So, example number 4, think about Peter. He's like, Lord, I'll lay down my life for you. Wherever you go, I'm following you and I will die for you. And Jesus is like, let's think about that. I tell you what, before the rooster crows, come morning, you're going to deny me 3 times. And Peter does. Okay. Example number 5. We're going back to Luke and fast forward to chapter 14. This is really hard verses to read. So if you're kind of a softie, just close your ears or go to the bathroom and don't listen, okay? Because you're not going to like this. It's going to be tough. All right, Luke chapter 14, 16 through 20. But Jesus said to him, a man was giving a big dinner and he invited many. And at the dinner hour, he sent a slave to say to those who had been invited, come, everything is ready. This is great. I sent out the invitations. The pulled barbecue. pulled pork it's cooked, it's ready to go. The beans are hot. The cornbread's fresh out of the oven. Whew, everybody excited? Cornbread? Come on, guys. This is great. Made a fresh thing of sweet tea. Delicious. We've even got watermelon. For y'all weirdos, there's salt. Right? I remember that joke. Okay. So, like, man, the feast is ready. I've invited everybody. You know, do a little dinner bell. Ding, 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 ding. It's time. It's time. It's time. But listen. Verse 18. But they all alike began to make excuses. Which is crazy, right, Curtis? You're telling me dinner's ready? Who on earth is going to make excuses about food? Like, I will be there, right? Curtis got it. But they all start making excuses. The first one said to him, you know, I bought a piece of land and I need to go out and look at it. I need to go check this thing out. Please consider me excused. I got to go check out this new thing that I bought. Another one said, I've bought 5 yoke of oxen and I'm going to try them out. Please consider me excused. It's like I got a new lawnmower. You know, I need to go see what this thing does. 60-inch. Let's see. I'm just curious how wide it's going to cut. I'm betting you 60 inches. But anyway. And then another one said, I have married a wife, and for that reason, I cannot come. Yeah. I'm like, me and Kelsey, we'd be like, we're on it. Free food. We're coming. So, example number 5. Either come to Jesus or don't, but don't make excuses. I will spew you out, right? Because you're neither hot nor cold. I wish you'd either be hot or even cold, but don't be what, church? Y'all know that one? But don't be lukewarm. Be hot, even be cold for that matter, but definitely don't be lukewarm. Okay, here's our last one. Luke 14, continue a few verses later, 26 to 33. And this is where it gets gnarly. If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, yes, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. I promise you, Joel Osteen is not putting this in a sermon. Okay? I promise you, this is not on the commercials. And whoever does not bear his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, when he's laid a foundation and is not able to finish it, what's going to happen, church? All who see it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish. Okay, so first thing, does Jesus actually want you to hate your family? Nope, he does not. That's not what this is about. But here's what it is about. It's another really good quote. You ready? It's a good one. Everyone is ready to get saved, but not everybody's ready to get persecuted. God might be 100% responsible for washing your sins away, but he is not 100% responsible for your daily walk. Right? Like, getting saved is God's doing, and getting saved is amazing, and getting saved means coming up out of the water, a new creation with my sins nailed to the cross, right, church? Like, that is fantastic. But then starts the real work, you know? And God's not doing that for you. Right, church? Like, you can't just, like, it's so much fun to get saved. Like, that is the best part. But it's also just the beginning. Okay? You really need to sit down and think about what happens day 2. You know? Everybody loves day 1. It's kind of like the phrase, you know, yeah, the honeymoon's over, folks. Like, man, being married is easy, you know, when you're on vacation. Like, everybody's, you know, cooking for you, and you got a beach, and you got a big view of the mountains, and you got, like, this free time, and it's like, that's fine. But when you get back from the honeymoon, like, now you're doing laundry. You know? Like, now you got to pick up after yourself. Now you got to go to work, and now you got to come home after work and not let work come home with you. You know? Like, what? Okay, honeymoon's great. Everybody loves honeymoon. But when the honeymoon is over, think about that. So Jesus is saying he doesn't literally want you to hate your parents. But you know what might happen? There might come a day after you're saved that you have to pick. You might have to pick. You might have to pick between you and mom. You might have to pick between you and your husband. You might have to pick between you and yourself. And you know who you have to pick? You have to pick God. And if you aren't willing to pick God, when that day comes, then you might as well just not do it. Man, this is a hard lesson today. I mean, I'm not taking it easy on y'all. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I need it. So here's our takeaways, church. Here's number 1. Be sure you know what you are signing up for. Right? Like, deciding to follow Jesus it's not just some flippant thing that you just do on like a fling. It's like, oh yeah, I think I'll be a Christian. That'd be cool. No. Be sure you know what you're signing up for. Number 2, be sure you are ready to put God first. Just God first, allow me to go bury my father. No. Jesus is not against funerals, right? We can have funerals. We can cry over our parents dying. That's not the point. The point is, like, oh yeah, I'm going to follow you. I'd love to follow you. I'll follow you wherever you go. Just, I got some stuff I want to do first. Does that sound like you're committed? That's not commitment. Number 3, when you decide to follow Jesus, there is no going back. It's not a part-time gig. It's not something that's just like, I'm going to do this until I get a little bit better, and then I'll be on my own. I just need him to get me out of this spiritual, slump. No. When you decide to follow Jesus, there is no going back. It's like what was the thing about the hand of the plow, Like, oh man, I tell you what it's like. Y'all may not really appreciate this, but I appreciate it. It's like concrete. If you've ever had a mess with pouring some concrete, like, first of all, it ain't fun, okay? But second of all, it's like when the concrete truck shows up and you've set up your form and you've got metal in there and rebar and all that, and it's like when he starts pouring concrete, I don't care how bad you got to go to the bathroom, you're holding it. I don't care how hungry you are. I don't care if President Trump shows up. Not if you're working with me or not. You're going to have to tell everybody, hang on, because what? Concrete's pouring, and as soon as it starts coming out of that truck, it starts drying. And when it dries, you can't fix it. Like, it's go time, Okay, that's kind of like, if you're going to pour concrete, you have to just commit until it's done. There is no going back. Number 4, do not underestimate the trials and temptations ahead. There is nothing greater than Satan losing one of his soldiers to the Lord's army. Like, it is so great when people are saved. Like, that is fantastic. But how many times have we seen people get saved, and within a week or a month or a year, they're right back to where they were? Okay? We don't want that. We want 100% retention rate. And part of how we can accomplish that, or God can accomplish that, is to make sure that people don't underestimate. When you decide to leave Satan's army and join the Lord's army, you now have what we call a target on your back. If you're in Satan's pocket, you don't have a target on your back. Because why, guys? He's already got you. Like, fine. But you leave, he is coming for you. So, do not underestimate the trials and temptations ahead. What did Peter say? Jesus, I will follow you wherever you go, man. Wherever you go. I will lay down my life for you. It's like, you might lay down your life for me, but what? Will you live your life for me? Are you prepared for, like, the little slave girl? It's like, weren't you the guy that was with Jesus? And he's like, you know what? First words, no, absolutely not. I've never seen that man a day in my life. Because he was prepared. He's like, man, I'm prepared to fight. I'm prepared to pull out my sword. That's right. But are you prepared to, like, take on the embarrassment of being associated with Jesus? I'll tell you right now, guys, like, Oh, this fun little thing. Don't feel bad. I had to get a couple stitches this week in my hand. Like, Andrew, my brother, he's down on his back. Y'all ever like hold something in your back? Dude, let me tell you something. I will take stitches in every limb before I'll take like pulling my back. Or a fever, right, Jim? Like, man, you get a fever or like vomiting and diarrhea, like that stuff affects your entire body. I'm a complete baby when I get like sick. You could chop a finger off and I will be fine, like for real. I can do that stuff with like no pain medicine, no big deal. Like, I'm ready to like die for Jesus. I could take the pain. If somebody like put a gun to my forehead, like bring it on. They're like, we're going to take your limb. You can have it, man. I'm ready for that. But you start going down the road of like, when somebody calls you out about, are you associated with that Jesus guy? Because that would be embarrassing. That's actually a whole lot more difficult to stand up for your faith in those moments than it is to take a bullet for God. And really and truly, guys, what are the chances that you're going to have your faith at gunpoint? Pretty low. Much more likely, you're going to have that little servant girl who's like, weren't you with Jesus? That's a much more likely scenario. So, don't underestimate the trials and temptations that are ahead of you. Number 5, either come to Jesus or stay home, but don't make excuses. The feast is ready. Cornbread, right? It's fresh out of the oven. All this stuff's ready. We got the band coming. Josh's band. What is it? King's Highway. We got some cheap bluegrass coming. I'm just kidding, guys. We're just joking. We got some good bluegrass coming. Like, we got it all. We got inflatables. Everything's ready. Well, I would love to, but I don't know. I don't know, man. My show's coming on tonight. I can't come. Sorry, buddy. I might be there later. I might come later. Listen, you're either coming and you have one of the plates that's designated for you, right? Or you're not coming and we're going to give it to somebody else. But don't make excuses. Like, I tell you something that really kills me. Can I share a little something with you real quick? Y'all want? Okay. I hate it when people. There's a better phrase than like making excuses, but when people don't tell me the real answer, like, hey, do you want to go get some food tomorrow night? And they're like, no, money's kind of tight and we just can't do it. And really, what? Like, they just don't want to go, but they're gonna say like, we just don't have money for it. Sorry. And because then, you know what I might say? What if we'll pay for it? And then they're like, well, I'm also kind of sick. All right, well, let's do it next Sunday. And they're like, well, it's like, look, if you just don't want to hang out, what? Just tell me, right? Just tell me, like, dude, like, we don't like being around you. There's too many of you guys. Y'all talk funny. You're not funny. Like, whatever it is. Like, I really would just rather people just be like, that's okay. So Jesus is saying, either come to me or stay at home, but don't make excuses. And then here's our last one. Everyone is ready to get saved, but no one's ready to get persecuted. I mean, maybe I should also say that a different way. Everybody's ready to get saved, but not everybody is ready to make a choice. And the choice is God or anything else. The choice is God first or anything else first. So when Jesus says, you can't follow me unless you hate father and mother, brother and sister, husband, wife, even yourself, he doesn't want us to hate all those people, but what does he want? When the time comes, are you going to be ready to pick God over anything else? Because if you still love something more than God, God doesn't want to be your second choice. What's that called in the dating world? Is that like a rebound thing? Rebound relationship kind of a... Like, oh man, the woman of my dreams. So-and-so, saw her at the dance, 8th grade. Oh, so beautiful. She ended up with somebody else, and I guess I'll just go with this girl named Kelsey. How do you think Kelsey feels, guys? Well, I get, Didn't get inside joke there. Like, well, I guess Kelsey will do. No. If God is not first, he doesn't want to be anything. If you're going to pick God, everybody's ready to get saved, but no one's ready to get persecuted. Everybody's ready to get saved, but nobody's ready to make a choice. Like when the time comes, like, well, I don't want to share too much of this in case it's online, but, it's like this couple that we know. I think I told you about her before. She's a younger girl, comes from like a completely Muslim family, and like making the decision to follow Christ. You know what that's like, going back home to a completely Muslim family? I don't know if they're even going to let her come back, Like most of us don't have that problem. We're worried about how many people are going to be at church and how many people are going to watch. They're worried about, can I go back home? So I need to be prepared. So when it comes down to it, I want to pick God first. All right, here's our last slide. Y'all ready? Woo! Last slide. Yay. We're done. Here's our last slide. If Jesus can talk you out of it, then you aren't ready to follow him. Am I all in? This kind of got brought up with one of them this past week. How do I know when I'm ready, Dad? That's a tough question. Like for real. Like that's like, by the way, after church, any parents that want to give me some insight, any advice, y'all come up and talk to me and Kelsey. But how do I know when I'm ready? And I'm thinking, maybe it's kind of like marriage, like how do I know if this is the right person? Like, you'll know. You're like, she's the one. I want to be with her the rest of my life. I've got no reservations. I'm not like, well, I've got 3 or 4 other options, but I guess I'll go with this. I'm not planning on, well, in 3 or 4 years, we'll probably finish it and I'll move on to somebody else. Like, no, this is the woman that I want. I want her for life. Even more than just the honeymoon, right? Like I want after the honeymoon. I want those old years on the porch, the gray hair. I want that too. I want it all. Like, how do you know when you're ready? Maybe it is like when you can't get talked out of it. Like I remember some people asking me, because we were 19 when we got engaged, okay? Which is fairly young. Sam, how old are you? Yeah, like I can't imagine you being engaged, dude. Like, no, only in the sense that, that sounds bad. I shouldn't have said that way. There's no, what girl, whatever, no, I'm kidding. I guess what I mean is like, it's hard for me to imagine somebody your age being engaged. Like if I were to look back at me at that age, I'd be like, dude, you're not ready. Like you're just not. Like we are living off of love, held together by a bubble gum and a prayer. Like it's cheap, right? But kind of where it got to for me was like, yeah, I love y'all, but no matter what you say, I'm marrying this woman. You don't have enough money yet. I'm like, yeah, probably don't. Still going to marry her. You're not talking me out of it. You don't need money to marry. I mean, maybe a little bit, but not much. You don't need money to marry somebody. I wish I had done that. Saved a few dollars. So this is kind of what Jesus is trying to do. And I'm not trying to be discouraging, but I am trying to make sure everybody has realistic expectations, okay? Let me say one more. I'm going to say something that's really controversial, but I'm going to say it, okay? If Jesus was here today, he would want everybody at church. He would not allow everybody at church. He wants the entire world to be saved, and he wants everyone to follow him. But he would not allow people to just anybody with 1% interest, like, I will invest in you like this much. No. He is trying to thin out the crowd to find who wants to be here. He is not going to show up to your house on a Sunday morning and drag you to church. Like, look, if you want to be here, be here. If you don't, don't. I would rather have 25 people that want to be here then 175 of them are just kind of like griping and complaining. If I'm going to take some kids to work with me, same thing. Like, I would love to help. I would love for you to help. Man, like, y'all can get in these tight little spaces and you don't sweat as bad as I do, and like, it'd be great. You can get some work done. But if you're going to be here and sit on the sidelines and complain the whole time, stay at home. I don't want your help. Jesus is looking for serious followers who are all in. Like, no room for anything else in my heart except Jesus Christ. And that is so much easier to preach than to live. And I don't live it. Like, I don't. But I know that's what Jesus wants. And I want to be like that. Okay? So if Jesus can talk you out of it, think about this. Jesus tried to talk people out of following him. For real. Like the commercial, he for real is like, it's expensive. You probably won't like this membership. You probably won't make it till March. Probably once you get here, you won't like the equipment. Probably once you get here, you won't like some of the people that show up. Some people are going to be in the parking lot making fun of you for going into that gym. Like, what kind of a commercial is that? Who's going to buy that? But Jesus wants the world to know, like, this is the truth. This is the truth. If I can talk you out of it, you're not ready. Because what Jesus is looking for is for people that completely, totally want him. Like, I'm going to surrender everything and follow you. Where? Like, look, foxes have holes, birds have nests. I got nowhere to lay down my head. I am on a nonstop path from town to town to town until I hit Jerusalem. And in Jerusalem, I'm going to be crucified and die. That's who you're following. So, am I all in? Yeah, Jesus, I'm all in. Just first allow me to do this one thing. No, that's not all in. Am I all in? Jesus is God my first. When it came down to it, if I had to pick family over God or God over family, I'm picking God. And really, like, you can't have a better family than when you decide to pick God first. Like, your marriage is going to blossom. Your children are going to turn out better. You're going to be a better dad and a better wife, a better mother. And it sounds bad. It sounds selfish. Like, no, you got to love. You got to love. When I love Christ the most, I'm such a better husband. Are you all in? Church, family, are you guys all in? Is this a cultural thing? Is this like a tradition? Is this like, it's good for my kids to be around decent people that teach things like don't lie. That's good. That's good. I like to sing a little bit. Potluck and socializing is good for my mental health. Or is it like, no, I'm here because I want Jesus. And if next week, all of y'all decided to stay home, would I still be here? I'm coming regardless because I'm here for Jesus. Are you all in? If you're not, what's holding you back? And if you are, keep on keeping on. Why don't you come forward, together we stand and sing.